Hey guys, how's it going? Today is Saturday, January 17th, 2026. Currently 77 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 25 degrees Celsius. So it is a cloudy day, as you can see, and it was raining a bit today, so I decided not to go on a day adventure, but instead I am going to give you a tour of my hotel room, and then also the hotel in general, because it is very, very nice, very sort of artistic, stylish, seems quite new, and as I mentioned in a previous video, an incredible deal. It is just $38 US, which is pretty wild, especially for Tulum, which became very, very expensive. The last couple of times that I was here was 4 years ago and 5 years ago, and I paid around $80, or I think a bit more than that, for the rooms that I had previously, and so less than half the price, and I would say a nicer room and with a awesome pool there. So apparently the reasons for the declining tourism in Tulum is a combination of factors. From there's the sargassum seaweed that tends to clog the beaches. I haven't been over to the beach yet. It is a 2-mile drive or bicycle ride or taxi or whatever away. I will plan to rent a bicycle. There is a bicycle and scooter rental shop, 2 of them actually, just a few minutes away. So I will plan to rent a bike for the rest of my stay here. Because the room is so inexpensive and it is so nice, I booked, well, 5 nights originally, just seeing it online, and then arrived and booked another 5 nights. So I have 10 nights in total here. And so there's the seaweed situation, which I will find out what it's like when I get over there, maybe tomorrow. The weather is looking a bit better for tomorrow, but when I was in Playa del Carmen, then I didn't see any there. I just stopped there for a short stop, but the beach looked great there, so I'm hoping it's the same case here. But apparently that is one factor. But there is the high prices. Previously, it had become, you know, not a affordable Mexican destination, and so I guess that drove people away. I guess there were some incidents related to the gangs, maybe some shootings or something like that. I haven't heard anything specific about that. And then I guess just so much development, and then once there was a contraction of the tourism, then that affected all the many hotels that are here, and I don't know, maybe some other factors as well. So I guess it's that combination that is making things nice and quiet here, and then a lot more affordable than usual. So conditions are just perfect. Yesterday was an absolutely amazing sunny day, and there should be plenty of sunshine going forwards. The weather though is so nice, in part because it is warm but not tropical, humid, hot. So I was in Bali recently, and you arrive in Bali, step out of the airport, and first thing you're just hit by this blast of the heavy, humid air, and then it is just like clinging to you all the time when you're outside. It is just always overwhelmingly hot, and then you need AC on like all the time in your room. Once you're in an enclosed space, then it just gets too suffocatingly hot, so you have to have AC on, including at night. I really don't like especially sleeping with AC on, and so here, because it isn't so humid, then it cools down in the evening. I haven't had to use AC at all. There is a fan in the room, so I'll head into the room in just a second, or actually a couple minutes, because I need to address the other issue in the title. But I haven't needed to use the AC or the fan, and so that really makes a big difference. Also, no wind at all, no bugs. I haven't seen a single mosquito, no flies, so it is just really perfect conditions here. So, getting to the subject mentioned in the title, that I have decided not to include prices in my videos anymore. Now, I showed the price on the screen and told you $38 US. I am going to include the prices of the hotels, because that at least gives you a baseline price for how expensive a country is. But I've decided to stop, mentioning the prices of taxis, and maybe I'll mention some flights in the future, we'll see, but always including the cost of food and various other things for 3 different reasons. So the first is that I was watching somebody's video recently who was mentioning the prices of everything, and I realized that it was kind of a little bit of a distraction. That I'm watching the video and then prices always being mentioned. It felt in some way like it almost kind of took away a little bit from just enjoying the video to be focused on the prices all the time. Now that brings to mind, maybe what I will do is every once in a while when I make one of my how expensive videos, then I will show prices in that country, but not be mentioning them in every video and not showing all the prices of food especially. Now the second reason is just because it does take time to always be keeping track of prices, writing them down, and then when it comes time to edit, then it's a little extra time to add them into the video, and then sometimes I forgot to write down the price, and so then I'm like trying to find online menus and stuff like that, and so it is a sort of constant thing throughout the day of my travels and my filming and my editing to always be trying to keep track of the prices. And then the third reason is that after 15-ish years of being a travel vlogger and including prices a fundamental constant part of the video experience, what goes along with that is constant criticism from people about the prices. And you wouldn't necessarily expect this when you're thinking of being a travel vlogger and want to provide information about the places that you are going to, but it is a absolute daily thing of criticism of how much I paid for things, whether it is that I paid too much or I paid too little. You get it from both sides, and it can be pretty intense sometimes, and that has just become a part of my daily life. Is I go out and have a nice meal and then mention what I got and the prices, and then get all these comments from people saying that I paid too much, I got scammed, yada yada. So you never get scammed paying for food at restaurants. You never get scammed. I have never been to a restaurant in my life where the menu didn't have the prices on it. So you always know what you're going to be paying. So it's not a scam if you know exactly what you're paying and you sit down and you look at the menu and you agree to order something and then pay that price. So certainly I have paid, some high prices for certain meals. Mostly I would say that I'm kind of mid-range, and then sometimes quite cheap. And so I understand that it's coming from people who are budget travelers, and there are cheaper options. You can get street food. You can go find this restaurant, little hole-in-the-wall place down the street, a super local place or whatever. I go to restaurants that I feel like going to that look nice, but I'm not going to all upscale restaurants by any means. I really go to a true range of different types of restaurants. But for me, dinner is kind of what takes up a good chunk of my evening, and I don't want just a quick stop at a street food place and grab something and eat in 10 minutes. I want to sit down generally and enjoy the experience. Maybe there's live music, take some time waiting for the food, have a glass of wine or a beer or whatever. And also I oftentimes do my video editing at the restaurant, and so I want to be in a place that is conducive to that, not a super noisy place with tiny little tables and cramped in and that kind of a thing. I want it to be somewhere like with kind of lowish lighting and a bit of space and a table big enough to put my laptop on and stuff. And so that is a consideration when it comes to which restaurant I'm choosing. But mostly I just, walk around. I don't tend to look in advance for restaurants and read reviews and stuff like that. For one thing, I just, don't have the extra time with everything else that I'm doing with my filming and editing and everything. Then I don't want to spend a whole lot of time, online reading reviews and comparing restaurants and stuff like that. I just go out, walk around, maybe look for, I want this type of restaurant, see if there's one around. But basically, I usually just go out, walk around, see what looks nice, check their menu, looks good, give it a try. It's always a bit of a gamble. Sometimes it's good food, sometimes not great service, whatever. But that's a gamble I'm willing to take, and in the process I have been very lucky to have had many, many great meals, most of them at good prices, some of them definitely expensive. But I've decided to just free up my life a little bit, less work and a bit less of that negative feedback to deal with on a daily basis of, my choice of what I've decided to eat and how much I've decided to pay for it. So that is why we'll see going forward. As I said, I will include the hotel rooms most likely, and we'll definitely consider making, a dedicated how expensive video is in certain places. So with that, let's now do a tour of this very, very lovely hotel room with a nice balcony here. The sun goes across there, so you get the sun shining down. You don't get much sun on the pool there, but no biggie. And so, as I've mentioned before, then I really like to swim laps back and forth. I love swimming in the sea or ocean, but unless you're in Greece or somewhere else with super calm waters, then you can't swim laps back and forth for 30-40 minutes or whatever somewhere where there's waves. And so here there's not big waves, but there are still waves, and there could be the seaweed and also just water kind of churned up. And so it is nice to have a pool to be able to swim the laps back and forth. So this one, you can't quite tell when you see the pictures. I was hoping it might be just a little bit longer, and so it's a little short for swimming laps, but still it definitely does work. I swam yesterday, so nice pool there. And as you'll see when I go down there, the people with the rooms down there have this direct access right into the pool. All right, so first, nice double bed, a bit firm, but all around quite comfortable. You got these two little bedside tables. This room is very much set up for 2 people. A nice table here, reasonably fast Wi-Fi, not super fast, but does a decent job. And then the sinks. So 2 sinks, 2 mirrors, 2 lights, shelf down there, lots of shelf space here. And then look at this really nice bathtub and shower. So not a faucet, just the shower head there. I guess if you want to take a bath, there is a plug for it, then you just use that. But it's, I don't know what kind of material, but very tastefully done. And then separate toilet in here. And then this long hallway, shelf space and drawers here, fridge, and then kettle, cups. So you really have everything you need, nothing missing in this hotel room. So now let's head outside and see more of the hotel. And by the way, I'm not going to mention the name of the hotel here, hope you can understand, but because I'm here for 10 days just for my own privacy. So we have a little library here, and then this amazing hangout spot here. And so the town here of Tulum stretching out that way, 1 block over to the main street there, and then the beach is about 2 miles that way. And so looking forward to seeing it in the coming days. And then, as you can see, the whole hotel is in a nice kind of artsy style. Seems pretty new, but maybe a few years old. All right, so as you can see, then these 3 rooms have direct access to the water. The water was quite cold yesterday, maybe not heated. I think that these rooms down here are a bit bigger and more expensive online than it mentioned, like suites with more than one bed. I booked it on booking.com, and then you got a shower there. So there you go. That is the place. So I'm not sure what the coming videos in Tulum will be. I will definitely make one just generally exploring the town and getting over to the beach and showing you what it's like. And then there's also all this stuff to see outside of Tulum, the cenotes and going to other beach towns, and there is the Tulum Mayan ruins. I have shown those before, and various other things around here. So we shall see. Just going to take things a day at a time. Might not be, filming every day, but anyways, more coming from Tulum, Mexico. Hasta luego. See ya.